KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Happy Thursday.
Yes, happy
we made
Thursday.
it. November the 7th. I feel like it's been a lifetime, though. This week is just dragging. And it might just be me, but it might be the elections. I don't know.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. And, and then the weather changes. I mean, yesterday was like really cool, cold in the morning, and today not too bad, but not as cold as yesterday.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's go out to live cam real quick to see how the skies look. I know they were a bit gray earlier, and that still is the case. Justin, who's wearing the gray suit.
Yeah.
Trying to match the clouds. It was the whole thing. I planned it. It is gloomy out there. And we started off with clouds rolling in this morning. Humidity has made a huge difference because if you remember yesterday at this time, we were at 50. Now we're at 71. So a 20-degree swing here thanks to humidity and cloud cover. Let me show you the scene outside once again. We got some low-hanging clouds. And look, fog hasn't been horrible here in San Antonio, but there is some lower visibility in spots. We're also seeing some mist and drizzle, but overall it's just the air feels thick. 72 right now in San Antonio, 72 in New Braunfels, 71 Converse. You got low 60s in Bernie and Kerrville, and you see those humidity numbers there on the right side. They have continually gotten higher and higher as the morning has worn on. So the authority radar, you see some showers here and there, nothing that's terribly heavy, but I think we will see more activity on the authority radar as we head towards midday. Showers and maybe a couple thunderstorms, nothing that's going to be overly heavy. But we're going to keep a 60% chance and just some light stuff and then the occasional shower or storm in the forecast through midday. And the rain chances will fall off during the afternoon as we see a little bit of clearing. 81 is where we end up today. And then we've got more rain chances on the way tomorrow before more changes this weekend. So a lot of back and forth, a lot to keep up with. We'll lay out that 7-day forecast for you coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Let's check the roads. Looking out there with TransSky, things looking good there at I-35 at Southwest Military Drive. And looking on the TxDOT website, didn't seem to be any problems at this hour. Well, new this morning on the south side, crews are still on the scene of a fire at South Bresa and Topeka. That's not far from Southtown. Now, we are working to get more information, but we can tell you that this started around 7 a.m. And the good news here, no one was hurt. Investigators, though, are trying to figure out what sparked the fire. We will bring you more as we learn it.
We're just now learning on I-10, the northwest side has reopened following a deadly rollover crash this morning. It's something that we brought to you on GMSA at this morning at 5 and 6. According to Bexar County Sheriff's Office, 42-year-old woman was driving her car around 5 this morning when unfortunately she hit a barrier and rolled her car. She was thrown from the car and passed away.
Well, let's look at today's 9 at 9.
Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the presidential election to President-elect Donald Trump and encouraged supporters to continue fighting for their vision of the country. Now, President-elect Trump has a 75-day transition period to build out his team before Inauguration Day arrives on January 20th. He has pledged to bring down inflation, impose tariffs on foreign goods, and conduct the largest mass deportation in American history. President Biden's remarks are scheduled for 10 a.m. from the White House Rose Garden.
All eyes are on the Federal Reserve expected to cut interest rates today. Many economists predict a quarter-point drop smaller than the September's half-point chop, the first in 4 years. Rate cuts trickle down to consumer debt like credit cards, but Bankrate says people won't see an immediate impact. The Fed's current benchmark rate is between 4.75 and 5%.
Car makers expecting new tariffs on foreign imports when Donald Trump returns to office in January. The auto industry also bracing for a reversal of policies supporting electric vehicles, including EPA rules and tax breaks. Tesla shares up nearly 15% Wednesday. Investors betting on benefits from CEO Elon Musk's close ties with Trump. South Korea's trade chief says he expects companies there to invest more in the U.S. if tariffs rise.
Canada is cracking down on TikTok. The country ordered the company to shut down its business in Canada, citing national security risks. In April, President Biden signed a law giving ByteDance until January to find a non-Chinese buyer or be banned nationwide in the U.S. TikTok is fighting both decisions in court.
2 wildfires are burning just outside Los Angeles. Multiple people are hurt as the growing wildfires burn and threaten homes. Forecasters say powerful winds and dry conditions are creating a particularly dangerous situation. The broad fire is in Malibu. coastal suburb of LA. Officials say the bigger concerns is a mountain fire in nearby Ventura County. Fire department says that blaze has sent several people to the hospital. Thousands of people are under evacuation orders.
Mazda has issued recalls for more than 150,000 of its vehicles. Nearly 81,000 of those are 2025 model year CX-70 SUVs and 2024 to 25 CX-90 SUVs. There may be issues with the dash electrical supply unit. Mazda says that includes the defroster, seatbelt warning, and the 360-degree view monitor functions, which may not work properly during startup and increase the risk of a crash.
NASA's Quest mission has marked a major milestone in achieving quiet supersonic sound. The team has started engine testing for the X-59, a low-noise supersonic experimental aircraft. NASA's Quest mission will gather data on how people perceive thumps from flying faster than the speed of sound. It is hoped to provide information to regulators to enable them to lift the ban on commercial supersonic flights over land. The X-59's first flight is now expected early next year.
A new perk for Google TV users. The app now permits movies and shows to be shared with a link. If you are a recipient, the link will only work if the app is installed on your device. It also does not work on a computer.
Well, here's some news to get you into the holiday spirit. Peppermint mocha is back. The popular seasonal beverage, part of Starbucks' 2024 holiday menu, is out today. Among the new items, cranberry, orange, and spice drinks, along with new holiday cups. This year's theme, Merrier Together. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Well, the Federal Reserve is expected to announce a cut in interest rates today, just 2 days after a tense U.S. presidential election.
Ivan Herrera is here right now to explain what that could mean for the economy in the months ahead and how President-elect Donald Trump's economic plans could affect the Fed's future decisions. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the Federal Reserve is likely to lower its benchmark rate by 0.25% today. Now, while job growth has been losing steam, inflation has also been cooling off, a trend that the Fed appears keen to maintain. Now, investors will be watching Fed Chair Jerome Powell's remarks Thursday afternoon for insight into future rate cuts, especially as President-elect Donald Trump's prepares to return to the White House, bringing policies that could shake up the Fed's long-term plan. Now, recent data shows the economy is still stable, but Fed officials see room to lower borrowing costs further, aiming to keep the economy in a soft landing where inflation stays low and jobs stay strong. Now, back in September, officials made a surprising half-point rate cut, the first in 4 years, signaling their commitment to maintaining job market stability. However, not all officials agree on pushing rates down rapidly. Atlanta Fed President Rafael recently said he plans to be cautious. Economists expect these rate cuts to continue through 2025. And as Fed Chair Powell fields questions today, many wonder how the Fed's strategy might shift under Trump's influence and what that could mean for the Fed's independence. Now, Trump has promised tax cuts, big tariffs, and other moves that economists say could drive up inflation in the future. Now, the Fed will have to balance these policy changes with its own targets, all while maintaining its independence. Now, while the economic outlook seems mixed, one thing is clear. Inflation is easing and is close to the Fed's 2% target. Now, this trend gives the Fed some flexibility as it manages the potential impact of Trump's policy. And again, the Fed is expected to lower interest rates by 0.25 point today, and we'll be watching to see how much the Fed decides to cut those later today. Bye.
Thank you, Ivan. Well, also happening today, Goodwill San Antonio is hosting a community resource fair. It is a free event that offers resources for career services, mental health support, homelessness assistance, and disability services, and much more.
More than 40 local organizations will take part in this. The fair kicks off this morning at 10 a.m. and will last until 1 p.m. at the Second Baptist Church Community Center on East Commerce. Right now, it is 9:07. We're looking at 72 degrees outside and still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Well, the big question leading up to January 20th, who will fill what roles in the Trump administration? And this morning, Robert Kennedy Jr. weighing in on what his role could be, hinting at the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So what's the first thing on his mind? Chemicals in popular cereal brands bringing the attention to Kellogg's Fruit Loops.
Kennedy has raised concern about the health effects of processed foods. This morning, we're asking you, our viewers, should the FDA crack down on ingredients in cereal Scan that QR code on your screen and let us know. Still ahead, our Sarah Costa joins us in the studio to break it all down and see what you guys are saying. Welcome back. Get ready to get your cowboy boots out, San Antonio, because guess what? We have a new live country music venue coming to Broadway Street. Have you heard of La Honky Tonk yet? La Honky Tonk, ba-donk-a-donk. You remember that? This new venue will play all women country artists, though, from Carrie Underwood to Dolly Parton. Love it.
Now that the construction's lifted off here, it's time for us to kind of like take that bar for what people believe or not. You know, we want to take it and run with it, and we want to be the first to bring that energy alive here.
Working 9 to 5, local. The Honky Tonk is still under construction, but they plan on being open before the end of the year. You can head over to their Instagram to find out when is the exact date they will be opening. I am so excited about this.
I know. I thought you were talking to me about bring out your cowboy boots. I was like, what?
Steph got really nice pair of boots.
I was ready.
I'm telling you. That'll be such a fun little time to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll follow through with that.
Mm-hmm.
If only our schedule was 9 to 5. It's not.
That's exactly. Okay. Oh, you busy because, look, the rain is pretty active today.
Yes, it is. We've got some showers, got some fog, drizzle. The big difference this morning were those low temperatures. You know, yesterday we were in the 40s and 50s. This morning we started off in the 60s and 70s. That low of 68, well, that was right at midnight. We actually saw temperatures rise from there. And the big reason for that was this surge in humidity coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Brought clouds, brought some fog, brought a little bit of drizzle and mist. And the air is just, if you've been outside, the air is very thick. It feels very different. Dew points continue to come up. We've got a dew point of 72 now and an air temperature right around 73, 74. So you can see the temperature and dew point close together. That's why we're seeing some of these low-hanging clouds, a little bit of fog, and just an overall kind of gloomy situation as you look outside. 73 degrees at the airport, 72 New Braunfels, 71 Converse. Humidity is very high. So far, we have not seen, though, a lot of mist and drizzle. The roads continue to stay dry, so that, I suppose, is good news. But we are going to watch for a few showers as we get throughout the course of the morning. We've already seen some of these spotty showers here and there that have worked their way across the city. I do think we'll see a little bit more by, say, midday. Could even see a couple thunderstorms. We're not looking for a lot of heavy rain here, but the chance is there. We want to let you know about it. So 60% chance this morning, 73 at 11 o'clock, 76 noontime. And then we will see rain chances fall off a little bit during the afternoon. But it's during this time where if we do get a little bit of sun, we could see some thunderstorms. 81 at 3 o'clock, that's our high temperature. And then we'll drift back down into the 70s tonight. Still with a chance of rain, but it's a lower chance. It will keep rain chances going into tomorrow as well. Reason being, this upper level low is spinning out over the Four Corners, and this is going to give us some lift that will help to push the front through, and it's already producing quite a bit of rain across parts of the Panhandle, Lubbock to Amarillo, even in the extreme northwestern part there. Seeing a little bit of wintry weather and a lot of heavy snow around Albuquerque this morning as this low spins. There are winter storm warnings in effect for basically the northern half of New Mexico. And then you've got flood watches in effect from Lubbock over to Wichita Falls down to San Angelo, where they're likely going to pick up some pretty heavy rain. We won't quite see that amount of rain, but by noontime today, as I said, some showers will be around and maybe a couple thunderstorms too. And then by 5 o'clock, this particular model does show a few more isolated storms developing. It'll be more isolated during the afternoon and evening hours. And then tomorrow we'll do this again, some drizzle and fog in the morning, and then a frontal boundary starts to work in from the west. That should get here tomorrow evening, and along that boundary we can see some showers and storms as well. It could affect Friday Night Football, not a guarantee there, but I expect to see some activity as we get into tomorrow evening. And then by Saturday, this all clears out and we'll get sun back in the forecast and dry air. So the severe risk today, the highest risk is going to be out west, Permian Basin down to Ozona, out towards Fort Stockton. But they do include San Antonio on that low end risk on a scale of 1 to 501. And that's where we'll be tomorrow too. So we just got to watch for a couple of those storms that briefly flare up. Gusty winds would be the main threat. And I mentioned rainfall, not a lot, maybe a half inch or less here around San Antonio. Further north you go, the better odds of seeing heavier rainfall. Half an inch to an inch up around Austin, and then maybe 3 to 4 inches as you get up into that area where we showed you where that flash flood watch is in effect. So the extended forecast, 79 tomorrow, still a decent chance for some showers, maybe a storm. And then as we get into the weekend, 76 Saturday, 83 on Sunday, but low humidity and warm next week.
Yay. There we go.
And as you can see there in our graphic, No Shave November is in full swing. You can see here at KSAT, Justin's already, the beard disappeared.
We're into the shadow phase.
And now it's coming back. That's right. And then, of course,
Feels
like
better.
the mascot here, Hank. So, yeah, we have like a couple, several of our team members who are participating in the campaign. Just a reminder, it raises money for cancer fighting foundations that goes toward cancer research, treatment, and prevention.
We have all that information and a link to donate on KSAT.com. So, Justin,
how's it going?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We've started to get some donations coming in. So if you choose to donate, we appreciate it. You don't have to, but we just want to raise awareness and hopefully raise some money too to support this cancer research. It's a cause that's near and dear to our heart here at KSAT, and it's something we'll probably be doing every year. And I'm excited this year because Adam Caskey has joined us for the first time. I've never seen Adam with a beard. We're going to find out what that looks like, and I'm interested to see.
That's gonna be.
He's told us it's an interesting look for him. So
that's why he hadn't done it in the past. But yeah, I actually went to the website and I saw his name there because Sarah had told me he was participating. I was like, really? Yes. It's like I kind of went on there, but you'll see Adam's name on the list as well.
RJ, Devin Karp also included, and I think Devin's already got kind of a head start. So
like a little cute little goatee coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted along the way, and of course, go over to our website if you'd like to donate or just see how everything's going.
Indeed.
After the break, a big question many people want to know is who will be in Trump's new administration this morning. Robert Kennedy Jr. weighing in on what his role could be, hinting at the Secretary of Health and Human Services, something he plans to focus on right away. Chemicals in popular cereal brands bringing the attention to Kellogg's Fruit Loops.
Well, Kennedy has raised concerns about the health effects of processed foods. So this morning, we are asking you, our viewers, should the FDA crack down on ingredients in cereal? So you see that QR code there on your screen. You can scan it and let us know what you think. And after the break, we're going to be talking to Sarah Costa, as she will break it all down to see what you guys are saying. Welcome back. It's 9:22. Well, President-elect Donald Trump is getting his administration and his team ready as he returns to the White House come this January.
One of the potential picks is Robert F. Kennedy's, hinting that he could take the role of Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Well, our Sarah Costa joins us in the studio right now with why he would want to take down Fruit Loops. Sarah.
Yeah, focused on Fruit Loops right now. Something he plans to crack down on right away are those chemicals in the popular cereal brands, bringing the attention to Kellogg's Fruit Loops. So Kennedy has raised concerns about the health effects of processed foods. He's not alone. Protesters recently gathered outside of Kellogg's demanding the artificial dyes be removed from the cereal, but experts warn not to jump to conclusions.
If you compare a box of Fruit Loops from the United States and Canada, you will see they have roughly the same number of ingredients. The big difference is in what is being used for dyes. In Canada, it's a natural dye, such as carrot, watermelon, or blueberry juice, whereas in the United States, they're using artificial dyes like red 40, blue 1, and yellow 5 and 6.
So studies have claimed that those dyes could cause behavioral problems in children. The FDA has said most kids have no adverse effects. And Kellogg says its ingredients meet the federal standards, but it's those standards that Kennedy apparently wants to focus on, saying the entire FDA's nutrition department has got to go. RFK has also pushed to remove fluoride from drinking water. He is also a known vaccine skeptic, but said yesterday he won't be taking anybody's vaccine. So RFK and politics aside, we have a bigger question for our audience. The megaphone poll look at the bottom of your screen there, should the FDA crack down on the ingredients in cereal? And right now, 82% of you say yes, they should. 18% say no. So if you want to answer this question, you want to join the conversation, take out your phone. You see that little small QR code there on your screen by the time and depth? That's what you scan. It's going to take you directly to that poll where you can join the conversation if you think the FDA should crack down on the ingredients in cereal. Oh, just went up. 85% say yes. 14% say no. I love seeing the live poll go back and forth.
But a lot of people going for yes.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, politics aside, don't you yourself and children want to be eating something healthier, natural?
Yeah.
The only problem is if you go to the store, if you go to like a Whole Foods or a Central Market and you get the fancy non-processed stuff, it's always a little more expensive.
So what will it do to prices here?
Exactly. So it's like, you know, can't always win.
Yeah. All right, Sarah. Well, thank you for keeping us updated. And I guess we'll keep on. Oh, you're right. It keeps changing.
There it goes, 87%.
All right, it is 9:25 right now with 73 degrees outside, and there's still a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
So our Spurs fans will soon have a new homegrown food options at the Frost Bank Center this season. Our RJ Marcus will join us in the studio to tell us about the new food options and what this means to the fans and food. Welcome back. It's 9:29. Well, Tuesday night's election saw a big shift with Latino voters. According to CNN exit polls, 45% of Latinos voted for President-elect Trump nationally, a huge difference from 2020 when 65 Latinos voted for Biden.
Now, we saw the same here in Texas, especially along the border. Just take a look right now at the numbers here in Texas compared to 2020. The major Texas counties stayed blue, but Trump dominated the middle counties. But even in Bexar County, Harris performed 4 points less than Biden did in 2020.
We spoke to voters yesterday, and here's what some of the Latino voters in Bexar County had to say.
I think he'll be a better president than Harris.
What are you hoping you see change as the next 4 years kind of roll on?
Inflation plus housing for people. The housing right now, the rent is real sky high.
The more money in your pocket, the better. If you don't have any money, I mean, everybody struggled. So these past 4 years have been bad.
Well, for many Latino male voters, economic concerns were a primary factor in their decision to support Trump.
All right, taking a live look outside right now. Live cams. Hello, San Antonio. I know it's a little gloomy, but it's okay. We're having a great Thursday so far, right, Justin?
It is. It's a little murky out there. You see the low-hanging clouds. It's all the humidity that has surged in, and today's going to be like that for a time. I think we'll see maybe a little bit of sun this afternoon, but more clouds and sun for sure. We start, though, with the pollen count. Molds are low, ragweed is low. We are still in ragweed season, by the way. It takes until the first freeze to really officially get rid of ragweed. I mean, it's on the low end, but it does typically stay with us until we get that first freeze. And that could be, you know, well into December before that happens, depending on how the weather pattern plays out. We are getting some freezing temperatures as you get up into the Rocky Mountains this morning. 30 in Salt Lake City, 27 in Denver. Place that still has some snow on the ground, 36 in Albuquerque, an area that was seeing snow earlier this morning. And then you get into the warm temperatures here in Texas as Gulf moisture is quickly surging back into San Antonio, where we're sitting at 73. Authority radar does show we've got some very light spotty showers. We'll see this activity pick up a little bit more over the next few hours. Everything's moving off to the north and west, so we're going to keep decent rain chance in there. Now, look, it's not going to be raining all day, just some mostly cloudy skies and a shower here or there, maybe a thunderstorm. And rain chances will fall off some during the afternoon hours. 81 is where we end up later today.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look out there with TransGuide. And what you don't see on your screen, the I-10 more closer to Bernie, that accident has wrapped up. And things are moving in that area as well. So on your screen, Highway 90 at Couples, things are looking good there as well. Well, the Spurs are back at the bank tonight to take on the Portland Trailblazers.
They return after back-to-back losses on the road. RJ, right here in the building with us to talk Spurs, and also some new food options at the arena, which I'm kind of jealous because I saw some previews, RJ, and you were just rubbing down.
It was a very tough job, but someone had to do it. David Elder, eat your heart out. Just kidding. I'll never take David's place. David is the man. But yeah, there's some new foods at the Frost Bank Center. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a bit, but obviously do want to go recap a little bit of last night's action. And the first thing we want to bring up is obviously we should get an update today on Coach Pop. The Spurs initially told us that he would not be with the team on the road for these last two games, but we have not heard anything since. Last check, Coach Pop was reportedly out indefinitely. ESPN was reporting this after suffering a health scare last Saturday. So we're sending out good vibes to the GOAT, Greg Popovich. Hopefully we get him back on the bench soon. All right, last night, things were not pretty out there in Houston. The Spurs were just not good. They fell behind early on, never came back. Wemby had some nice plays that you just saw right there. Stephon Castle got his first start for Jeremy Sohan, but it didn't matter much. The Spurs were down 63-38 at halftime. Let's go to the second half now. Not much better. Early third quarter, though, Spurs cutting into the Rockets' lead. Chris Paul hits a couple of threes right there. San Antonio got it down to 16 points, but did not get much closer after that. Interim head coach Mitch Johnson actually pulled the starters in the fourth quarter to save them for tonight's game versus the Trailblazers. Wemby finished with 15 points and 16 rebounds. But through 8 games, a little bit of a red flag here. He's shooting 7 threes a game and only making 21% of those threes. My man Victor, I love you, bro. I love you. Take the ball inside. Let's get some inside scoring here for our Spurs. Okay, now we move on. Had to get that out of the system a little bit. All right, Spurs fans, guess what? Y'all have some new homegrown food options at the Frostbank Center this season. The Spurs Culinary Residence Program is back with 12 new local restaurants that will be featured throughout the regular season. So I got a tour of some of those new options for foodies and fans alike and spoke to Spurs officials about what this means for these local restaurants. Just talk about how this has grown and the opportunity that you guys are giving to these local restaurant owners.
Received over 250 applicants for 8 spots. What we did was we decided we could add a second location in the arena, and so now we went from 8 restaurants to 12 restaurants that are participating in the program this season.
For fans this year, just kind of give us an idea of what they can expect when they come to the Frostbank Center.
Bus and Q, which has a giant dino rib burrito that's actually here tonight. We have quite a few desserts and pastry folks with local bake shops like Sweet Cheeks Bake Shop. We're offering Crepelandia 210, which does not only savory but also sweet crepes. So it's a lot of things you would never think you would find in an arena.
Did Wemby influence that, the crepes?
You know, I actually have to say we didn't think about that when we were doing it, but there's a taco concept that we brought in that's one of Wemby's favorites apparently.
All right, so we made it down to the club level, and part of the residency program this year is that it's actually gotten so big, so popular that they had to split it into 2 different locations. So at this particular Spurs game, we have Adam here. He's with the Hayden. Adam, how excited are you to be part of this Spurs residency program?
So to be at the Frostbank Center and to get to sell our food and get to talk to people, and it's an exciting season. I'm super psyched to be here.
I mean, what are maybe some signature dishes that you guys are going to have available for Spurs fans?
Yeah, I have 2 locations. It's kind of like a modern diner, and it's got kind of a Jewish deli vibe. So of course we do our pastrami. We're kind of known for our pastrami sandwich. We do a chicken sandwich with a pimento stuffed poblano pepper, bacon wrap. So it's kind of like 4 really fun, very in your face. They're really supporting the community. Like they can say it, but they're actually doing it.
What made you want to start your restaurant?
Well, I lived in El Paso. I had a restaurant in El Paso. Sold it. My wife's actually from Mexico, and she got a job teaching in San Antonio. Loved it, and I love old diners. And I'm like, there was not, a modern version of kind of an old school diner, and I thought the city needed it.
For us, it's not about how much can they sell in the building. It's how do we help them succeed street side, because really that's their main business, and how do we help drive business to them that's going to be repeat customers.
All right, I saw Justin staring down that dino rib, man. That dino rib. So obviously that place too was a new margarita place there. And so those are just 3 of the new food options at the Frostbank Center this season. So this program, this residency program, is highlighting local and minority-owned restaurants. So these restaurants will be on a rotation. So not all 12 are going to be there for every home game. It's going to be about 3 or 4 in different parts of the arena. So they're going to be showcasing these signature dishes at 2 concession stands at the HEB Fan Zone, that is upstairs, and of course at the North Frost Club throughout the rest of the season. So we got crepes, we got the dino ribs, we got some sweet treats out there. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. A lot of barbecue spots here because San Antonio represents for our barbecue as well. So yeah, a lot of great options there. That's going to be for fans going out there.
That's awesome. We've come a long way from popcorn and nachos.
I just want to hold the little dino rib. I just want to do it and bite it. I know. I would do that by itself. I could take it.
I will say it was good. They had it in a brisket nachos and things like that. So it was really good. Yeah.
Okay, we got to stop.
Dino rib.
I'm salivating.
And the brisket nachos.
Wow.
They were a hit. Yeah.
Some awesome options there.
Yeah.
Well,
Chef Johnny also has some new options there. There's some birria options there. There's some birria tamales there now. Yeah, you're right, Stephanie. The cuisine situation has gotten so much better at the Frostbank Center. A lot of different options this year for fans.
Yeah, and another reason to get there early and just go ahead and eat while you're there instead of trying to eat beforehand. Very
drinks,
good.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, RJ.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, guys.
We're not going to be too salty that you didn't bring us a to-go plate, but it's okay.
I ate pretty good, y'all. I think I ate for all three of us.
All right, guys.
That's good.
It is 9:38 right now, 73 degrees outside, and you're watching GMSA at 9.
Well, up next, taking a look at some trending topics this morning. National Cashback Day, a Mean Girls musical, and pancakes with a side of Riz.
Ooh.
Well, Ivan and Anna will join us in the studio to tell us all about it. Well, welcome back. It's 9:42. National Cashback Day is kicking off holiday shopping today, and a few Fetch Mean Girls inspired drink. It's available this weekend. So have you ever wanted to get IHOP pancakes and Applebee's appetizers under one roof?
Look at that. We got a new restaurant concept is opening near San Antonio soon. Ivan Herrera is back with us with those trending stories. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, a lot of interesting things to talk about. But first, let's talk about National Cashback Day. And if you're looking for a deal to start your holiday shopping, which is now, cashbackday.com is making it more enticing. The retail holiday created by Retail Me Not runs from November 7th through the 9th this year. And you can earn cash back from purchases from nearly 3,800 participating retailers through cashbackday.com. Now, whether you're buying gifts, planning a party, or just treating yourself like I would to something special, there's no better day to take advantage of these deals and stack up those rewards. And don't forget to help spread the word. Share it on social media using the hashtag #CashbackDay. And Tina Fey's Mean Girls the Musical is making its way to the Alamo City this weekend, and you can try a Fetch drink to celebrate. Press Coffee San Antonio is offering a pink So Fetch Berry Hibiscus Tea Latte this weekend only, and you can see Mean Girls the Musical at the Majestic Theater from November 8th through the 10th. That's this weekend. The musical is adapted from the 2004 comedy movie about a girl from Africa trying to adapt to high school in Illinois and all of that drama that it brings. Again, the drink is only available this weekend, so get it while you can. And check out this story on KSAT.com by our content gatherer Avery Mura to find those locations to get your own So Fetch drink. Wow. And if you've ever wanted IHOP pancakes with a side of Applebee's riblets, or maybe a Dollarita with your favorite omelet, I know those are some weird combos, you're in luck. Coming soon, Texas will get the first U.S. location of a combined IHOP Applebee's. Interesting. And get this, it's just 35 miles west of San Antonio, really close by. This new spot will offer both menus, a shared kitchen, and a split interior. The IHOP classic look on one side and the Applebee's bar vibe on the other side. And whether you're craving breakfast or dinner, they got you covered all day long. And Dine Brands, the company that owns the restaurant, says that the combo restaurant is already a hit internationally and could boost revenues for franchisees in the U.S. here too. Guys, I was thinking about some weird combos or some combos that could work with Applebee's and IHOP. So I was thinking maybe getting a burger and a crepe on for dessert or something like that. Yeah, so that's why I came up with Dollarita and maybe pancakes, or I don't know, just doing a combo of those two. I think it'd be a fun menu for sure.
I was going to say, so you can order off
both menus. Yeah. That's why I'm you can make so many combinations and it'd be a lot of fun, delicious. I'm getting hungry. I know it's almost 10, so.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing about where are you going to sit? Do we sit on the IHOP side?
I guess it depends how you're feeling. Are you feeling breakfasty or are you feeling bar-y? Definitely. So we're excited to see when that opens. I definitely would stop by there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some will come to San Antonio after that initial opening.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, let's get to some Zoo Cam right now. Let's get out here to our flamingos. You already know. And look, oh my gosh, they've been evicted.
They're not on the land anymore.
Right, they are all required to stay in the water. Justin, what's this about?
You got a lot of bird species going on there.
A bird who?
Species.
Oh, there we go. Well.
They got friends today, all kinds of visitors.
Going back to the combined restaurants, KFC and Taco Bell pulled it off. So.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and then for I know some locations were we used to have one off of San Pedro. We had Baskin Robbins and Dunkin' Donuts, which was
that's also a good
which
combo.
was amazing. I wish it was back.
Yes, so it could work.
Yeah,
I feel hopeful for it. We got to talk about what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. There is a hurricane out there. It's a Category 2 hurricane, Rafael. Winds are at 100 miles per hour. It's moving west-northwest at about 9 miles per hour. And normally, this would be a situation in which we would be pretty concerned for the Gulf Coast about how this is going to play out. But this is kind of a weird situation in the sense that Rafael is going to move west, stay out over the open Gulf, and then it's going to kind of hit a wall and just either dissipate or get pushed south or pulled off to the north. Either way, this is not going to have a big impact on Texas or really any of the Gulf Coast. So that's good news. Just will be an issue for boaters out there way out in the Gulf. Is expected to weaken to a tropical storm by Monday. So let's look at the spaghetti plots, and it kind of tells the story here. You get this frontal boundary that we're going to have, and it acts kind of like a wall. So either, yes, it gets pulled up. Some of the energy may get pulled up to the north. Some of it may just dive down to the south and fall apart. But either way, it's not something we have to worry about too much. Drought monitor just came in. This was last week. We have extreme drought over parts of Bexar County yet again. Kendall County, Bandera County, Comal County. Stop me if you've heard this before, because we've been doing this for like 3 years now. But the latest, most recent drought monitor doesn't really change anything. Now, keep in mind, this does not include the rain we got 2 days ago. So when we get that factored into it, we may see it pared back a little bit, but probably not much. We still need a lot more rain to dig out of this drought, and still not a great situation. So we'll keep you posted. There is a chance for rain today. We certainly need it. And by the way, much of Texas now starting to drift back into drought territory as we head into a La Nina pattern. That's not a good combination. Outside, you can see we've got low-hanging clouds. It's still pretty gray out there. 73 degrees at the airport, 64 in Boerne, 67 in Kerrville, and a light easterly wind. But that's wind is driving in a lot of moisture. Dew points are now in the low 70s. That is tropical air. What a change from yesterday when the air was dry, humidity levels were low. We have basically done a 180 here. And you look at the authority radar, we've got showers starting to kind of pick up a little bit more. These are all really spotty, light showers, but it's possible that some of this activity will work its way through San Antonio here over the next couple of hours. So don't be surprised if you get caught in a quick shower. And then as the day wears on, we may see actually a couple thunderstorms develop. So 60% chance of rain this morning, 81 degrees at 4 o'clock, 40% chance of a shower or storm at that point. And then down into the 70s tonight with some small rain chances continuing. Futurecast does show that noontime spotty showers here and there, 5 o'clock, maybe a couple thunderstorms, but rain chances at that point a little more isolated. Then as we get into tomorrow morning, showers, drizzle, we'll do it all again. And then here comes a front. Along that, we should see a broken line of showers and storms, and that'll continue into the evening hours. This shows front coming through maybe around 10 o'clock or so. That's kind of flip-flop back and forth. But we think it'll be late Friday. It'll take probably until midday Saturday for us to really kind of clear out. But there is a risk for some severe weather today and tomorrow. Those areas shaded in yellow. It's low end. We're going to keep an eye on that. For tomorrow, 79, 60% chance of rain, and then drying out some for the weekend, 76, 83 Sunday. Next week looks significantly quieter. We were talking about the weather pattern. This week we had a lot going on. Next week, not so much.
Yeah, it was super busy this week, but I liked all the changes.
A lot going on, a lot to keep up with this week.
Might be a good time to start putting that Christmas tree up, huh? Come on, y'all, come on.
It's early, man.
I still have Halloween stuff out.
Oh, hey, it looks like Christmas on Thanksgiving in my household. How about that?
Well, that's good. You're ready to go.
Ahead of the game.
It'll take me a while. I need it to be at least after Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, the countdown is on. We have 20 days, 14 hours, and 9 minutes, I guess, for official Thanksgiving there. So if you're looking to add some vintage and modern pieces from around the globe to your Turkey Day tablescape, one local shop here can help you out.
And SA Live's Jen Tobias Skresky takes us to Rancho Diaz at the Pearl.
Texas, Mexico, and around the world. That's the inspiration here at Rancho Diaz. The home decor store is located in the Pearl, and it's the perfect stop for foodie-inspired finds for any occasion. Owners Ginger Diaz and her husband Mario love to entertain. So let's talk Thanksgiving. Hello, Ginger.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. It's obviously here all about presentation, right?
Well, we love the holidays. Anytime an excuse to eat and get together and have some wine and hang out with your family and friends is good by us.
Yes, and for those who have not visited Rancho Diaz here at the Pearl, can you tell us a little bit about your place and the inspirations?
Yeah. My husband Mario and I opened Rancho Diaz 2 months ago in August, and we wanted to bring in my love of home decor and his love of cooking. And so we really loved that store that used to be here, Melissa Guerra, and all of the amazing items she would bring in from around the world. And that was part of our inspiration for the kitchen items. And then all the home decor is inspired by our travels.
Beautiful. I love the combination of the food and then the travel, and then look how beautiful it looks here.
Thank you.
We're talking entertaining for Thanksgiving. So how can we pull this off? Tell me about what you have here.
Well, and whether or not you have a large family or a small family, it's fun to set your table up and make it a special event. I know my family, we celebrate at different times of the year, and it makes it special to really put some time into your table. We have a beautiful table itself, so we like to use placemats instead of a tablecloth. And so these table mats are from Mexico. And then we have this reversible copper charger, which one side is shiny like you see here, and the other side is the weathered oxidized green side, which I love. And then we have these beautiful hand-painted plates from Guanajuato, Mexico. And we layer it with some non-traditional silverware in gold. And then you can use a wreath on the table with a stand, different than this, but like a little black metal stand. And then we
actually put them on the table.
Yeah, put them on the table with a little stand, and then have them back to back so that each side is pretty.
That's such a great idea.
And I also love using our candelabras, but for flowers. So you can put little roses or other seasonal floral in there and just put a little bit of water in the bottom.
Nice, that's a great idea too. And I notice the marigolds there that we can carry on.
This is one of our favorite items really all year, but they of course come in September, and we use them for Day of the Dead, and then we keep them up in our home through Thanksgiving for the pop of orange. And then in our home, we like to do non-traditional Christmas colors. So we actually this year are doing orange and green as our Christmas instead of red and green. But yes, and we like to have the mixture of texture, color, and pattern, and have things that we can use for multiple seasons. Who wants to buy something for one day of the year?
Yes.
So these placemats can also be used in the summer. They're very summery. This is another good example of a multi-use item. This I have on my desk for paper clips, but also can take it out for putting little snacks on a table. And then we also have these beautiful pepper grinders that are all wood, pepper, salt, and other spices. We even have a coffee grinder. And then this is one of my favorite things that we found from a maker in Mexico. It's a silver century plant, agave stem, and it's a napkin ring.
So mixing and matching here, there's so many different items, but you guys can help if someone comes in and they're wanting to maybe impress this time of the year. They're going to have people over, and you can help them to kind of mix
For
and match.
sure, it's our favorite thing.
Oh, and the candles.
These are from Oaxaca. They're hand poured beeswax, and then they're stained in different gradients. This was the natural beeswax. And I love, this is a really great fall coloring that can also transition into Christmas. We have this gorgeous Lazy Susan that is carved by hand and then relief painted, and it's just so beautiful. Blue and white, again, can be used in any time of the year.
Again, good for gift ideas here as well at Rancho Diaz. All right, well, thank you so much. Again, located here at the Pearl. Come shop, come meet Ginger. She will be here. You're here pretty often, right?
We're here every day. We're open every day.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ginger.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Jen. And SA Live, again, starts in just a few minutes right after GMSA at 9.
You can scan that QR code that you see right there for more arts, culture, food, and fun. Celebrating San Antonio is what they're all about.